Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on the Robocop from Fanhome issue 44. Let's go ahead and get the parts out. We'll open up the book and we'll see what there is to do in this issue. So dump the parts out, making sure that we get everything out of the bag. Keeping track of the little spring that kind of rolls. There's another spring that kind of rolls away. There's two springs there. Whole lot of screws. We've got EM screws, BP screws, EP screws, QP screws, GP screws, and then let's see what these parts are. Let's see. This is the holder. These are parts, all parts of the holder. The holster is what we'll call it. We got brackets, and we have a release button. And then a whole bunch of screws. Let's see, where is the release button? Oh, release button spring. Okay. Sorry. Oh, speak of the devil. Push the spring onto the pin on the right thigh release button shown by the arrow. So this little bitty pin gets this spring right here, like that. And then we'll take this over here. Is this the back? I think it is the back. Then take the final assembly from 43 with the thigh cover pulled to the out position away from 42A. Insert the release button into the back of the compartment under the rear middle rail as shown so. Oh, okay. So we need to, it's in the out position, which means it's not on, not attached at all. And we're going to put this pin back on. We're going to put the spring back on the pin. This is I'm not going to say it's terrible, but it's not well thought out or built, and the spring fell off again. So what we've got here is this little compartment here. The button here goes in to that hole, and you'll see it right there. That spring is supposed to hold that button out, and somehow you are supposed to be able to get this in here with the spring still on the little pin, which is way too short to hold it at all, and then get the button in there. And now you're supposed to somehow hold this in here while you push the thing back together. Let's see, QP. That makes a little bit more sense. You actually are going to hold the quote-unquote button into place with a QP screw, I think. Yeah, actually, thinking about it. So let me get this set up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here, on the back of the button, there is a hole. QP screw goes in here once this is through the thigh here. Would be helpful if they'd have put a pin in there to hold the spring in place. So what we do is we put the spring in there. We get this pin into the spring and the button through here like that. And then you put this QP screw, which has a flange on it, so it will not slide back through that hole, but it is a little bit of a trick to get it started. Put that on there, tighten it all the way down, and then hopefully it will keep the spring in place. So the quote-unquote button is when you push that. So now, see if I can get this back together without too much issue. Really not a fan of the way they did this. I understand they want to make it oh so cool because then his holster shows up, you know, opens and everything else. But I'm not a fan of the way they did it. I see how it works almost. You push it all the way over and it does not latch. It is not quite far enough. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Here on the back of the button, there's a little pin there. And when you compress this all the way as far as it will go, I don't know if you can see that, but the pin is just out of reach. You cannot latch it open or latch it into place. So let's see what they say. Push the front cover back to the in position so that the middle rail holds the release button in place while continuing to apply pressure. Turn the assembly over. And that's where you put the pin or the screw in. It does not reach. It does not latch. Even pushing really hard on this piece here, it does latch. And I've seen people comment, I've seen comments about how badly that is done. But it is latched right now. Probably not supposed to be latched yet. Position rear middle rail. Actually, let me see. Oh, it says holds the release button. Yeah, so continuing to apply pressure, turn the assembly over. So it is supposed to be in the locked in position at this point. Let's get out 2 BP screws because that's what it shows in the picture. Position the rear middle bracket over the rear middle rail. Bracket has a notch in the profile that must match the tab on the underside of the rail, which fix the bracket in place with BP screws. Okay, maybe I am wrong about what I'm thinking. So this piece is supposed to go on here like this. Bracket has a notch in its profile that must match the tab on the underside of the rail, which the rail rests on. There's a notch. Let me see. Just to see, there is. We'll put it in place and see if it does anything. push it back over. See, get one screw on, then the other. Get this one started, and then I'll work on the other one. Like I said, I've seen some comments about how poorly designed this is, that you can't get it to go back in place without some serious effort. And it would be very helpful if these pictures showed anything really well. These pictures are terrible. Huh. Okay. It's almost latching. I'm an idiot. Put the part on upside down. But it is trying to latch, so that is something. Okay, let me show you what I did wrong. That little notch towards my hand is supposed to be towards me this way. That's why it was being a pain to go on there. But it was actually latching. That kind of surprised me. So let's get this one back in and then this one back in. I could be wrong about how my opinion of this. This could actually work. I don't know how well it's going to work. And I don't know how fast it's going to wear out. Faster if you put it together backwards. Okay. Still not fully impressed. Really am curious. Okay, it is in the only way it will fit. So let's press on and see. Check that when you press the rod 44E, the pin goes through the hole at the end of the rail and goes down the front of the cover, is pushed out, way back. Check that you can return the front cover to the previous position so that the pin snaps back into the hole. So, how is that a button? Okay, this is the button here. So what they're saying is that little pin there, like I was saying before, needs to engage. And it takes effort to get it over there. The hole is not quite long enough. Come on. This hole does not quite reach where it needs to. So every time I do work with it, I've got to push this over. See, when I push it, it opens. It's supposed to snap back in there, but you see it does not until I push this pin. Hang on. Until I push it over like that, then it'll latch in. And that is the problem that I saw somebody talking about. Solution to that, now that this is locked in place, of course, is to take this back off. Okay, take this off and very, very, very carefully modify this. Okay, what is holding it in place now? It's just friction. And that screw, or that spring, is caught up underneath here. Not a big deal later on when it's underneath, but when I can see it, it irritates me. It's wrong. Not supposed to be like that. If I just jerk it out of there, I'll stretch the spring and break it. Not so much break it, but it will stretch it and it won't be work the way it's supposed to, just like it's already not working the way it's supposed to. But it'll be worse. The irritating part about this is I've got to take it apart, put it back together, take it apart, go back and forth to make until I know I've got this set right. I'm going to do it now rather than wait until it's put together and I find out that it will not work. So what I need is a round file. I have one handy, I know that. There we go. I have a round file. You see where that hole is at. What I need to do, matter of fact, you can see on the back, the hole actually should, where the edge of that imprint is, if the hole was all the way over that, it would work every time. So carefully, if you decide to do this, you're doing it on your own. Know that you're modifying this, and Fanhome may or may not be willing to give you extra or new parts. Just a little bit. That should be really, really close to what it needs to be. So put this on here, get this rod in the back, push this over while I'm holding this down, push the pin in the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Almost, but not quite. So I'm going to do just a hair more. What I'm going to find out when I get done with this is that they actually have something that holds that over to where it will actually engage every time. I don't think so, but they're going to have something that they think that they designed to do that, but it's just not quite going to be up to the task. Okay. Make sure everything is in place. Push this over. Latch it. And that's the other thing. When you do that, if you do this, you need to make sure that your hole is not slanted, because if it's slanted, it will not engage. It'll slip off. Come on, get into place there. Got that one. Got that one. Tighten it down. This also traps the thigh, the outer thigh skin, this in place. So now push that over and it latches. Look at that. Slight modification there. Works every time, most of the time. So now we're going to take this piece here. It has a rod. It goes like this. And then this is going to go on here. There are 2 pinholes. You got 2 pins on here. Big, small, big and small pinholes on this. So this is going to push on here like that. It's just going to push on. Then we're going to take what looks to be a very nice tight coiled spring in the picture, which is actually just a pretty weak spring right there. Put that on there. And then we're going to take this. Okay, this pin is going to go through okay, this is the back side, so this is going to go through on this side. Okay. Again, not very good instructions. You can't really see it. There's a hole right here. There's a hole right here and a post right here with a hole in it. This post is going to go into the hole. This pin right here is going to go into the other post, into the hollow post, or the hole in that post. Hang on. Put it in the wrong hole. There are several holes there. One was too far away. You want to get it into this hole right here. And we're going to put this in place. We're going to get out a DP screw, which has a flange on it. Only one. There are 2 in there. We're going to put that on the pin that came through, the one that has the spring in it. And so what it's going to do, wow, that is really, really bad. Bad. Look at that. They need more than just that. There is a pinhole here. Hopefully there's going to be something that goes in there eventually. But when the leg is closed up, this will be down like that. When you open the leg up, it should pop up. Let me see if I can get it there. But like I said, it's not that good. Okay, and exact words I used were bad, really bad. Now we're going to take this. Oh, we need the rest of the leg. Fortunately, I happen to have it right here. Take the right calf assembly from 35. Both assemblies fitted the thick pin rear face of 42A into the hole on the top of the knee. So this is going to go into here. And I'm going to turn this. Yeah. No. Maybe. I will be right back. I need to figure out how this actually goes together. Okay, so I turned it over and whoops, that was cute. Nothing broke though. So I turned it over. This large hole here is what they're talking about, and this is the large pin. They want you to put it on here like this. And it will go on, but then the holster is right on this part of the leg. Oh, you know what? That helps. There we go. Push that sleeve down a little bit. That's better. My issue was this sleeve, which you don't know exactly where it has to go, was too far up. So when you push this, put this large pin in here, it is now clearing it because I pushed the sleeve down. So the large pin goes there, and then 2 EP screws are going to secure this in place. And because of everything being black, the location, I'm going to get the screws started, and then I will show them on screen where they're at. This is, I'm going to use the word interesting. Come on. Because this sleeve only goes so far down. What you're trying to do, I'll show you the screw holes. There are 2 screw holes down here. Here's the pin. You're trying to get those screw holes to line up for you. Come on. Okay, that one is in. That one is started. It started tilting a little bit, and I thought it was falling over. Already dropped part of the leg once. Just now, you saw it. So we're going to tighten this down. Tighten it all the way down on both screws. Then we're going to take a look how things work. This barely moves now because it hits the top of this sleeve. And the sleeve keeps sliding back up after I push it down. But now it does move a little bit. That moves. Let's see. How does the thigh work? I happen to not see it. Moves pretty good. And now we have some EM screws. So the EM screws retrieve the inner thigh assembly. This monster from 38, connect the 2 assemblies as shown by the arrow. Pay particular attention to the release rod button. Okay, the release rod button is this here. This button has to go through this hole. So it passes through the whole inner thigh plate and back compartment, rests neatly on the head. Okay, so this is going to go on here. Supposed to go on here, we'll say. And go ahead and pop that out, making sure it is in the way as little as possible. So where is that hole? There's the hole for the button. Button's in place. I think these may be in the right spot. EM screw, hold back next to the holder. Okay. There are a total of 4 EM screws that are going to put this together. I think Yeah, there's only 4. There's 1 spare. Okay, let's get this back together the way it was originally, or it was before. Okay. They say there's supposed to be one next to the holster. I see one inside the holster. I think that's the one they're talking about. We will find out. Got the oil sitting open. Truth be told, I left it open last night. I think that's it right there. I think. Maybe. Then again, maybe not. But I can see one right there. I'm going to go for the one that I can actually see. That one's lined up. Just kind of looking to see where the screw holes are. I know there's 4 of them. That's all I know. That looks like one. Maybe it is, maybe it is not. Okay, absolutely nothing is engaged at this point. Let me pause the camera, fight with this off screen, and I will be back. Okay, it was a bit of a trial, but I got it in there. You can see we've got the thigh pushed in. Here's the button that protrudes way too far, but it works. Now to see, let's see, side outer face, closed position, push the button. This is just telling you to position everything. This still is really bad. So this is going to come over here like this. I have a feeling. Where's my button? Oh, foot's falling over. There's my button. So this is going to go over like this. Takes a little bit of effort, but so let me pause again so I can actually read through this. I was just overjoyed that I actually got the leg in place. Okay, so it basically tells you to close it from here, making sure everything is lined up. Like right here, that gap still bugs me, but it's the best it's going to get. And then you close this piece over top of here, because these 2 little tabs here are what hold it together, hold it closed. And then to open it, you push the button. This could have actually been a solid piece. I understand that in the movie it folded over like that, but there's nothing that pushes it over. And then again, like I said, you work here on the hinge because that hinge is going to break eventually. You push it into place like this, close that, and now Robocop's leg is solid. Then you push the button and it pops open. Pops way open. eventually it's going to snap it off. Probably if his hand is here, it'll hit the hand, fold this like it's supposed to. Top piece here is still not going completely together. Let's go ahead and push this closed. Need to work with it a little bit to line it up there. It's not perfect. It's not 100% perfect. I'll tell you that right now. But it's not bad for something you build yourself. There are some pieces that are not that good in there that are going to wear out really quick, but I'm actually pretty impressed with the way the leg came together. Still got to put these pieces back on both legs. They kept popping off, so I just finally left them off. But there's the leg, and what's funny is if I lay it down, oh, it didn't. I was expecting it to pop the thing open. But that, my friends, is all there is to do in this stage. Hope you're enjoying this. I'm actually starting to enjoy it again. Unfortunately, I have 3 packs left, and then who knows when Fanhome is going to deliver that 1 pack that is still being shipped. When they finally get it to me is when I will start on pausing my builds. Right now, I have everything paused with them because they can't ship. But like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new content. Leave a comment. I love comments. Consider joining the channel. Buttons down below. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you in the next video.
Buckman's model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Buckman's model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models.